how does it feel for you now, having that in 30 years behind you, or so, or almost, and seeing the progress that women have made and the progress that women haven't made, particularly in the sports arena?
Okay, this is a real double-edged sword. So I guess when we finished Maiden, we crossed the finishing line, and in our naivety, we sort of went, right, that's proof that women can sail around the world. Tick, that job's done. Phew. So now women will be allowed to do everything. And we went on to do, I went on to do other all-female crews. Dawn went on to skip a Heineken, which was another all-female crew, to do the Whitbread. And of course, that wasn't the case at all. We had barely made a dent in the wall. I think that if I'm fair and honest, and being honest about something I haven't been honest about for a very long time, I had a nervous breakdown after Maiden. And so I didn't keep up the momentum. And what Maiden really needed was that momentum, to keep going. But I fell apart. I couldn't deal with what happened to us after. So I kind of disappeared off the stage and disappeared for 2 years, and no one could find me.
Are you just saying because the stress was so intense and so prolonged? Well,
we just didn't realise what was going to happen to us. And I don't think in those days, 30 years ago, mental well-being was not something we talked about. I mean, now it is something we talk about, thank goodness, And that's why I'm talking about it for the first time. Things have changed, but not enough. I am still, 30 years later, having the same conversation with young women about how hard they find it to get on racing boats as I was having 30 years ago. And that is shocking. And I think that sailing has lagged behind in other sports. In the UK, we have the women's cricket team who are champions. We have the women's rugby team. We have the women's football team. And they are all, world leaders okay, still fighting for equal pay, as is your US
here as well, exactly.
Football team.
Right.
But getting somewhere. Sailing, I think, is really, along with golf, the last bastion in the UK of patriarchy. And what I find interesting is actually that it took a young woman to explain to me, it's not men. Men aren't the problem. It's patriarchy, and that's a whole different thing. That's history, and it's habit, and it's things that go so far back that you have to hack away at them constantly. And I think it's interesting that in just the other day, I was in a yacht club in the UK, and a guy said to me, "Oh, well, of course, in Nelson's day." And I went, "Oh my God, the guy's been dead for 400 years. Yeah. Get over it. Move on." This is what we're dealing with.
He also was missing an arm, I think, and used to sail.
So changes are being made, but not enough and not fast enough. We need to get on this. I'm so sorry, that's my phone. Ha.